This computer mouse is one of the most customizable ones that I've seen out there. It's called the Snype 1.0. I picked this up about 2 weeks ago and I've been using it ever since. Why, you ask? Hey, I'm a simple man. I see RGB and I buy it. Ever since I've been using this, it did grow on me, so I thought I'll share my opinions with you anyway. Because why the f not? I don't have anything better to do, and neither do you, so let's get to it. This is one of those off-brand mice, meaning that it doesn't really have a lot in the packaging. It comes with its own software, which allows you to customize a bunch of things. The first thing that surprised me about this mouse was that there are additional weights on the side. Now, this is a feature that only comes around with professional mice, which are a lot more expensive than this. They basically allow you to add additional weights to the side to give the mouse a more stable feel. I personally like a heavy mouse. Some of the mice that are extremely lightweight, they feel cheap to me. And there are benefits of a heavy mouse because it feels good in your hand, and when you use it for a long time swiping it around, it definitely makes a difference as compared to other cheap mice. Now make no mistake, this is a very cheap mouse. But these tiny weights on the side which allow you to customize it to your liking, that really sets it apart. Now the wireless one that I already had kind of died on me, so I thought I'll buy this one because it has the back and forward buttons. I use these buttons a lot because I primarily work with a web browser. So these two buttons become very handy when I'm navigating around web pages. Now while using this mouse, I found that this weight thing on the side, it kind of gets in your way when you're trying to press the back and forward buttons. Of course you will get used to it eventually, but it's not something that's placed exactly in the position of your thumb. So you will have to move the tip of your thumb to press these buttons instead of just wiggling it around like a single rocker. I mean, it's not difficult to press these buttons, they are pretty easily clickable. They are in fact a bit too easy to click if you ask me. I have clicked them accidentally more than once when I am just moving this mouse around. And the same goes for the right click as well. Even though among the left and right buttons, the right click feels better than the left one, but you are more likely to accidentally click the right button instead of the left click. These are some of the caveats that you have to deal with when you're shopping around for budget mice. But hey, it has RGB, and that's where this software comes into picture. Now I didn't know what this strange circular object was, so I had to ask my grandfather, and I found out it's called a CD. Very interesting. And I even noticed that my ancient laptop has a CD drive, which I pretty much never used. So I plopped this in and I launched their software. So it allows you to customize the buttons and the RGB profile. Now by default, the two buttons on top are set to the DPI toggle and fire in a game. But you can set it to something else, like maybe a calculator, in case you, I don't know, crunch numbers a lot. I mean, that's really fun. It does take a while to apply the settings, like after you click on the apply button, it takes a few seconds for it to kick in. But yeah, it definitely works. I mean, that's more than what I can say for this keyboard that I have. AMKit is a much bigger brand than Quantum, but they don't really provide any software for their keyboard, at least not that I know of. I complained in this keyboard's review that you can only choose between two LED modes. Either it's a breathing effect or just a standard still LED mode. But here you can set the color profiles, pick between which colors you want in what order. That's pretty cool, especially for this budget. Now this is a standard flat profile mouse and not a vertical ergonomic mouse, which I'm used to. So it definitely took a while for me to adjust to this normal form factor again. But the transition was fairly smooth. This mouse is pretty comfortable to use. It's one of the larger size mice out there. It has these rubber grooves on the middle part, which kind of helps your thumb to press these buttons without sliding around. The weights, as I mentioned, they do feel good when you move them around, so I like a heavy feeling mouse, and this delivers on what I'm looking for. Now this is a wired mouse, but the cable here is pretty thick. It's a braided cable which is quite strong, and I don't think it's going to break off anytime soon. Now if the company by any chance decides to make a Snype 2.0, then I would suggest one design change. Maybe move these weights to the bottom, because they're definitely great, but they're slightly annoying to have on the sides. As I mentioned, it gets obtrusive from time to time while pressing these side buttons. So maybe if they are moved to the bottom or at least somewhere else other than the sides, that would improve the reachability of these side buttons without sacrificing that weighty feel. Oh, and maybe fix this left click while you're at it, because the right click feels fine. The left click, the one that you use more often, that feels a little bit cheap and hollow. Like, take a listen to this. And the scroll wheel too. The scroll wheel is a tactile scroll wheel, which makes more sense for gaming, I think. But I usually prefer a little bit smoother scroll wheel, so maybe have an option for smoother one as well. That would be helpful. Okay, that's it. That's the Quantum Snype 1.0 mouse, whatever you call it, gaming mouse, productivity mouse. I use it for productivity mainly because of these side buttons, but gamers can use it too because hey, RGB. So yeah, if you're interested in getting a good quality mouse under 1000 rupees, frankly I can't really think of any other deal that's better than this. I mean, this mouse has customizable weights. When was the last time you saw that under this budget? So I'll leave a link in the description if you want to buy this for yourself. Leave a like if you would like me to see any other kind of computer peripherals and accessories. It's a bit new to me because I don't really buy accessories more often. But hey, we're trapped inside our homes all day, might as well, right? Anyway, subscribe, share, and all that good shit. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Cheers. What the fuck? Who the hell is this? That's not Eminem.